Today I'm going to cover the business related this new bill that come out related to PPP, related to ERC. And when we get to ERC, I'll get into real examples just to show you how exactly the form should be done. And some of you had emailed me want to see the form. So first of all, today is March 27th. So the timeline is so important because the knowledge do go outdated quickly. So you always want to listen to the one that's most recent. So having said all of that, and I want to quickly, just very quickly cover this. So that American Rescue Plan bill, that bill, and signed into law on March 11th. That one has a thing called unemployment benefit non-taxable, right? Folks knows for the first $10,200 and you don't need to pay taxes. And most of the state are following the same path and they don't charge state taxes either. And so make sure that when you file your 1040 and you watch your unemployment, make sure it's not taxed. If you got 20,000, you only should pay part of it with taxable, and the other in 10,200 is not taxable. And the stimulus check comes to you, that's non-taxable, so you keep it, put in the pocket, thanks to President Biden, and that's it. Okay, and the child tax credit, and that one doesn't impact your 2020 tax return. So the one you're doing with your tax preparer, they're good. They're not have any changes. But the changes, yes, they did increase the amount, right? From 2,000 to 3,000 and it's, 4,000 to 6,000, right? But that doesn't come in until 2021 is here. And also IRS is working on sending that money out on a monthly basis. So you don't get a lump sum big check anymore, and you get it every month from the IRS. That starts right now. So that's why folks, in earlier when I was doing my webinars, I wasn't really clear of what happening to the child tax credit. So I was thinking it probably going to show up on the tax form. No, it is going to be a check to you starting July 1st for 2021. But for 2020, they stick with the same old rules. So same thing with earned income tax credit. It is got expanded. The age got expanded from all the way from 18 years old to forever. And that 18 years old is special, but 19 years old is for sure. As long as you're not student and you can get low income tax help through earned income tax credit, refundable credit. So that starts in 2021 as well. Dependent care credit, same thing, and that will come to you in 2021 when you are filing taxes in 2022 for this year, okay? Now, let me move really fast because I basically covered that. I want to spend most my time with you related to business. So now let's look at business with this new new bill came out on March 11th. So the new bill had several things that are really impacting us. Okay, so first of all, this is roughly a summary, but I want to go into here. So the EIDL loan. And that is that now it is open, right? It is open again. It is there for you. And so you can still apply for EIDL loan. But what I really want to hone in with you today is ERC and the PPP, and also the restaurant revitalization fund and the shattered venue grants. So I want to go through those with you. So EIDL loan, and pretty much is here and is still here. So now let's look at our ERC. ERC stands for what? Employee retention credit, which means that you didn't lay off your employee, you continue making payroll, and you are eligible for that. So, I know it is kind of confusing for a lot of folks because they are like, I don't understand. You talk about 50%, then you talk about 70%, and you talk about an amendment and no amendment, and 5,000, 7,000 every quarter is confusing. Okay, let me just kind of dial down this whole thing for you. And for ERC, you would either do 2020 And 2020, you only, you will do it, then the maximum is 5,000 per employee. Okay, you could apply for many quarter because you qualify, but the key is that the biggest amount, let's say you have 10 employees, the most you will get for each employee is $5,000. The difference between ERC in 2020 and ERC in 2021 is that in 2021, the $5,000 I'm talking about is no longer for the whole year, it's for every quarter, and it's also not 5,000, it's 7,000. So basically the ERC credit is 7,000 a quarter maximum. And with this American Rescue Plan bill, they extended ERC from July all the way to the end of the year. So now employer, you are qualified for 4 quarters if your gross sales in the given quarter, it is 20% less than 2019 gross sales. So if you qualify for that, you can get it, or if the government shut you down, you can get it. Even if it is a partial shutdown, you get it. So first of all, you want to be eligible, number one. Once you are eligible, you will get into calculation. And so now here, I am going to go with you to do that calculation together, okay? And I will show you how to amend 2020. And I know some folks are waiting for me to do that on Tuesday because I have a 30 minutes on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, to show you how ERC works. And I don't think I can do that. And now I look at my schedule, I have some personal appointments, so I won't be able to do that. And I will make arrangement to see whether one of my staff can do it for you. But here, this is what I am going to show you. All right. So I am going to give you a real life example. And one is amendment for 2020. The other one is the first quarter of 2021. The first quarter is not even due yet, folks. But I'm going to work one with you so that you know how that would work. Fair, right? Okay, so let me reshare screen because I put it under a different monitor, and let's go there. So we're gonna focus on ERC now, folks. Whoever is there, and know that we're gonna explain how ERC is filed for real. So of course, I want to say to you that if you don't even handle your payroll, and don't try to do it yourself, right? Unless you are the person that running payroll yourself and you have a pretty good handle on F41, then you can do it yourself. But if that's not the case, and your large payroll company thinking you are too small, they don't do anything for you, then you have Community CPA, and we are here to help you. Obviously for a fee, but still you have someone to help you. And I'll show you how important that is to do it because it's not a small dollars, okay? So now you are looking at a 941X with me. So what is 941X? 941X is the amendment for 2020 I am doing. Look, 2020, okay? 2020, I'm doing an amendment because I qualified for ERC credit, but when I found my 941, I didn't know I qualified or I didn't know how to do it. So now I'm doing amendment to do it. And remember, I mentioned to you that earlier in on the personal side of benefit, that unemployment benefit, it is now $10,200 as non-taxable. So a lot of people are talking about amending the tax return because they already filed their tax return with full amount taxable. Then March 11 came and everything changed. So they were thinking of amending. Don't do that because IRS already said that they are correcting it for you. So you don't need to file amendment. But for ERC, for employer, to apply for employee retention credit, and you need to file amendment. That amendment is 941X, okay? So I, of course, did take out some critical information, private information of our client. And this is a typical example, so I want to walk through with you. If you have a question for me saying, hey, Ying, I don't know how to do 941X for my 2020 ERC credit claim, here is your answer. So you pull out 941x, and you're gonna indicate what you are amending, right? Oh yeah, look at that, right? Technology is great. So now, okay, this is perfect. So you are doing 941x. So you're gonna do this. And of course, you're gonna figure out which quarter you qualify. In my case, and the third quarter qualifies, so I choose the third quarter. And I am amending 2020. That ERC is only for 2020, folks. You can't amend to 2019 or anything else. So enter the date you discover the error. So it's like, it's not error, okay? Just the date that you decided to claim. So we put on that date. And folks, you check on part 1, 2. You check on part 2, 3. All right, so this is the only thing. And plus you do a circle on here. And then this is your first page amendment. So that is done. Of course, you're gonna have your number here. You're gonna have your company name here, and make sure the address, everything is proper, right? So you're gonna put those in. So that is what the first page is all about. Then when you come to this page, and this is where you would calculate a number. So this number, folks, this number, you want to put it in. It is half of your social security number. If you remember the 941, so this is the 941 form, right? You know, remember we put in a number here. Let's say we put in $7,000, let's say. Then we have a column here, which is 7,000 times 0.124. I'm making it bigger for you guys. So this one, 0.124, that is the Social Security total taxes, right? So that number I was showing you, this one is half of that. So what they're saying is they don't want you to get a ERC. So this portion, this ERC credit, this one doesn't qualify. So they want you to identify half of Social Security amount in here. So you're just gonna put that in here and run that over as a negative. You see how I did that right here? So you got a negative, okay? So this one says, this column says non-refundable portion of employee retention credit. Fair. And what is non-refundable portion? That portion is half of the Social Security number amount, okay? So now you are going to have this because you already knew that your qualified wages for that is 6190. So in this case, actually your 941, your qualified wages is right here, 6190. That's what that wages. And here it is actually 6910. So that's your qualified wages. Okay, because your original filing 941, you pick up these numbers from here, from your column 1. So when you pick up that number, this is that number. So you got your 6190, that's your gross. That's your gross salary or payroll, right? And then what is the half of that? If you divide that by 2, so that gives you this number. And that number need to be reduced. Remember, we just calculated a little bit of non-refundable. So I reduced 383.79. That would give me that 2711.22. That is the check I am waiting for to come back from the IRS. Okay, so this concludes, literally concludes your application for ERC for 2020. So of course you need to give a reason. You're just gonna say that I'm applying for employee retention credit because every 941X, you must give a reason. So does that make sense, folks? And so your question to me is that, Ying, I don't know how to apply for ERC credit for 2020, and how do I fill up 941X? So I just showed you that. And now you know how to do it. The first page, and you check boxes, and you want, on the second page, you need to calculate the portion that you don't get. Then the third page, you got your gross salary, you know what is 50% of that. So that gives you this 3095. Then you subtract that number that you're not supposed to get it back. Then there you go. So you got your money. And this is how the 2020 ERC works. So you're going to ask me, Ying, how quickly can I have to get it done? The deadline is actually 3 years from the time you filed your return and 2 years from the date you made the payment. So make sure that if you get that done by 2022 or within this year, you are safe. You have time to apply for amendment. So what's the reason? What should stop you from getting that in for 2021, right? For 2020. So that is that. So looking back to my PowerPoint, I'm not going to switch because it's a 2 different screen. And so the next one I want to show you is to filing the first quarter of 2021. So remember, this is amendment because we already filed 2020 and we need the money back. So we applied for that. So we did amendment. But for now, for the first quarter of 2021, you're not late yet. You can still file, right? So now I'm going to do this. So I have a form right here, and I am going to walk you through this with me. And let me see. So I am putting away one of my draft. And so I am going to walk this thing with you. Okay, so let's do this form together. So we got a number, we put in our number, okay? So that's our ID number. We put in our name, company name. So folks, what am I doing right now is I am applying for employee retention credit for my first quarter of 2021. Why do I apply for that? Because I'm eligible. And my gross sales of my first quarter, it is dropped by 20% and more compared to 2019 first quarter. And or my state government shut us down for a period of time, so I am eligible. So first you determine you're eligible. Then now it is about time to submit your 941, folks. And you need to submit this one right to get your refund. And what if my second quarter, I continue to qualify? Then you continue to apply. What about the third quarter, fourth quarter? Well, after March 11, remember they extended to third quarter and the fourth quarter. So you might be qualifying every quarter. So you might be filling up this way of taxes for all your 4 quarters. Who knows? Depends on how you are doing. And I certainly hope you don't have to fill this up all the time. That just means your business is not going very good. I want to see every of our business doing really well. We don't rely on government funding, but if we qualify and you have the obligation to follow the rules, right? And I would say that the government creates the rule and your job is to qualify and to follow the rule. So now let's go back. So we select the first quarter. Okay, our trade name is Good Luck. And our address, that's our address. This is our headquarters address here in Des Moines. We have 3 locations, right? Community CPA has 3 locations. We're in Bloomington as well. But this address is the place. Oh, it's a 381. This is where we began. Believe it or not, I don't remember my postcode. Whatever. I just make it up now. I don't know. I forgot. Anyway, so now I'm here. Of course, we're not in the foreign country, so we're good. So number of employee, I'm going to say that's 7. And gross revenue, gross salary wages, I am going to make it simple, 70,000. Okay, so that is my gross. And withholding, I only withheld 6014.03. Don't ask me why I pick a weird number, because I was just being lazy and I was using a file and I'm making number changes. I didn't change the federal tax number. So here we go. You know, without a machine, I don't even know how to put number in place. So now my Social Security, 70,000. Someone used math really quickly and times 0.124. So I got 8,680. And now I'm going to work on my social, my Medicare. That's a 5C. So that is 70,000. And that I use the Medicare rate. That gives me 2,030. Now I am getting 10,710. That's my number. That is the 8680 plus 2030. That's that number. And here, this line, total tax before adjustment. What is my total tax? Of course, it is 3. It is this one plus this one. That's my total tax that I really meant to submit to the government. Okay, so 16,724. And I go down, my case is simplified. So I go down, I put in the same number. That's what the same number. And so now in here, non-refundable portion of employee retention tax credit. Hey folks, remember on the other example we talked about, isn't that half of the Social Security number? Half, right? So what is half of that amount? Isn't that 4,340? Right? So I got that done. And come over here, that's the second page, folks. So on the second page, I will put in total non-refundable credit, 4,340. Okay, and the total tax is after adjustment and non-refundable credit. So that would be what? That would be this number minus that number. They're asking me the taxes, you know, without the non-refundable portion. So with these two together, I arrive 16,724, just like how I was before, right? So I arrived to 10. The 13A equals to 10. Now, let's look at 13D, okay? The 13D is 70% of gross salary. That's the new ratio, not 50. Remember earlier when we look at the amendment, and when we look at the amendment, folks, do you remember right here? This is from the 2020, okay? Do you remember we did a 50%? Hey, this is not the case. This is 70%. So 70% of 70,000, someone tell me what that number is. 49,000, am I right? All right, so now what is my 16E? The 16E simply says to add my 13D plus my 13A. So my 16D, it is 65,724. I added. Now that's my 16E. That's my 13E. My 13F is 0 because I did not fill up the 7,200 form to get advance. I could, but I didn't. So it's 0. All right. So now my 13G is the same number, 724. Now comes to the real number. Either I want them to send me a refund or I want to apply to next return. Make a decision, don't choose both, right? So what is my overpayment? My overpayment here says that if the 13G is more than line 12. 13G is more than line 12. Enter the difference. So 65,724 minus 12,384. Oh, I need to minus. So that gives us 5,340. So what are we doing here? Okay, folks, just understand what the government is saying is that I am giving you 70% of your gross salary, but I really like you to pay taxes, to pay the taxes that you said you were going to pay, because that's a 16,724. And so there is a part of non-refundable, so you never got it. So they are taking the 12,000 as well, so you get a net. See? So that is a $53,000 check, refund check, for someone with $70,000 total salary, 7 employees. Got it? So if I just tell you that, yep, you're done, what are you going to say to me? Whoa, that's simple, right? And you know, like I said, if you did your taxes, if you did your 941 by yourself, you always handle the payroll. You're going to be able to handle this. Okay. So now I finished the ERC, right, folks? You saw me doing that. So the other thing right now, I actually want to go to PPP. Where is my PPP? Did I forgot to put in the slide? So let me talk to you about PPP. Since I don't have the slides, I'm going to come out of here because I want to talk to you about PPP on my, not on my slide, but on my, web on my web browser. I have something saved for you. That's why. Okay, so here I want to talk to you about PPP. Okay, I just brought you. You're seeing my. Are you seeing my screen? Am I sharing? Am I sharing a Schedule C profit and loss for business?
Yep.
Right? Okay, so the reason I bring that up because I want to make sure that the PPP is being understood. PPP extended the due date to May 31st, about 2 days ago. Okay, not very long. So that means the people who haven't really applied for PPP, you still have time because they closed PPP at the end of May. I brought up this form because I want to show you that PPP changed significantly. You as a very small business, you might qualify for that. You may be having a Schedule C in your tax return that you just didn't even pay attention to. Maybe you have a big business going on, but you also have a Schedule C. I know someone who runs a big business, but the wife is at home having a barber shop under Schedule C. You qualify for that. Okay, so I want to tell you that what the changes was, and you know, now you need to apply for it differently. So I was just using earlier this morning, I was giving a presentation to a nonprofit organization. So I was using this as example. I said that I am a sole proprietor. I have a cleaning business, right? Cleaning business, not a mowing business. Okay, cleaning business. And I also told them that this is my IT number and the social security number. And so, you know, everything is here. I made 55,000 in the year, but I am not doing very good. So after all the deductions, I actually have a loss. So for that reason, before last year, when I go to apply for PPP, people was telling me that, oh, sorry, you cannot get it because you have a negative. So I was looking at my negative, so disappointed. I do have a business, but I can't get a PPP. Now, the answer for you is the SBA changed the rules, and instead of saying that, to look at the line 31. See, they call that line 31 right here. My highlighter is bothering us. Let's do green. Green looks ugly too. But anyway, so 31, line 31 was the one they used to calculate PPP. Now they decided to use line 7. Folks, do you know what line 7 is then? Line 7, it is your sales minus cost of goods sold. And in a lot of service company like cleaning company, we don't have cost of goods sold. Your cleaning supplies are supplies. They're here. So they're not here. So you will have $55,000 to apply for PPP. So I want to calculate this for you, okay? And let's clear it up. So 55,000 divided by 12, folks. So that gives the government an idea of what is your monthly income is. And they want you to time 2.5, because I'm a cleaning company, I'm not a restaurant. If I'm a restaurant, if my things start with 7.2 right here, if my things start with 7.2 right here, I would time 3.5, but I only gonna do 2.5 because I'm a cleaning company. So that way I got 11,458. What is that, folks? That is the amount SBA will give you. And it's called forgivable PPP loan. And once you spend that, once you use that paid salaries to yourself, because I am the person working in the cleaning company, once I paid myself for that, and that is forgiven, I go back to the bank, sign certificate, tell them, yes, I spent it. I paid myself salary. That's it. And you get forgiven and you have that money. That money, number one, is not your income. Number two, not going to reduce your expense. You don't even put this money anywhere on your 2020 or 2021 tax return. Okay, so this is where the PPP is. And as much as we scream and we go around the world, tell people that, this exists and small business need to apply. We have small businesses just don't really know. They just don't know. And we have business people literally getting $30,000 back. Okay. And they didn't even know they qualify. But how much more can we reach? We really are very limited, even though we have more than 10,000 clients, but it's only limited to those clients. So we needed you to be the messenger. And out there, tell your friend, tell your relative, tell anybody that you see doing car wash or whatever. Ask them, did you apply for PPP? It's actually available to you, even though you lose money on Schedule C. As long as we have a number here, we are okay. All right, so that is about PPP. So I covered ERC, I covered PPP, and now I'm ready to go to two other subjects, and which is restaurant revitalization one. This is the one is such a new research Dr. Howe just did for me. I literally just have it on my email, but I need to go through that with you because whatever I know, I want to make sure you know it too. Restaurant Revitalization Fund. Okay, if you're a restaurant owner, you got to apply for this. Okay, so here is some details saying that 5 billion of this will be allocated to restaurants whose gross receipt in 2019 were less than 500,000. So they know that there's more people actually have less than 500,000 in 2020. So they set the standard saying that in 2019, if you were born as a small business and your restaurant, income is this much less, is under 500,000 sales, gross receipt means your credit card income, your cash income add together less than 500,000, right? I can think of a lot of clients, they are that way, and there's money allocated for you. And the first 21 days when that open, it is yours. You need to go for it, right? So they also limited the public company, and they're saying that they limit the grant amount to be 10 million. Who is going to get 10 million? I don't have any client get 10 million. The most they got was 2, 3, 3.5. So really 10 million, man, my goodness, that's a lot of money. And so they also said that the grant can cover a lot of things: payroll, mortgage payment, rent, utility. Basically just says that you get it, you use it. Okay, so now let's look at the next slide. This is actually a copy and cut from Dr. Howe's research. And earlier you saw that his email to me on the screen. So here is getting ready. Okay, I really want you to know it is not a straight shot like PPP and you just walk into your bank, you have a good banker relationship and you got your loan. But this one is a little different. Okay, so the SBA will administrate and disperse the grant, but the program does not yet have an official launch date as of mid March 2021. So the most recent talk is April 8th. April 8th, the guideline and also the way how to apply will come out. But I just want you to know that it's not yet open. And while you are waiting, folks, while launch date may not be set, restaurant owner has a few things they should be doing now to get ready for application process. Those that wants to apply for grant should register with the government using system of award management, SAM, if they're not already. I know most of the small businesses are not. I'm telling you that SAM is not as easy as you think. Okay, and to get on the SAM system, owners, operators should follow the following step. Number one, create a login.gov user account. This login account can help you interact with SBA and other federal agencies. And second, sign up to receive the DONS number. That number assignment is free, but it is required for all businesses who want federal contracts and grants. And this typically take 1 to 2 days to process, folks. So that's why we're talking, okay? And then using your login.gov email, DONS number, and the standard business information such as your taxpayer identification number, that EIN number basically, and register with SAM. It can take up to 2 weeks to be fully set up. Folks, I am here today to really tell you, if you are a restaurant and you need to do that, all right? There's no other way. It's not coming from the bank, folks. It's not a forgivable loan. And it is a grant. It is called, this thing is called Revitalization Fund. It's a grant, it's a money, it's free. But the government has to have a way to track you down, know how to look you up. So this is the way to do it. I feel so bad because I know how impossible for all of my small businesses who has revenue less than 500,000 to even tackle this. Unbelievable. Hopefully they came up with something better. So this is the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. And I just answered your question, how to get ready, how to apply. I just told you how. So please do it. And if you are really struggling with that, of course you can get help. I do not know whether SBDC, the government assistance center could help you, but wouldn't that be a good idea to knock their door right now, ask for that early instead of waiting for you to watch the funds going down and you can't even get it, right? Takes 2 weeks, folks. It's time to start. All right. The next one is called Shattered Venue Operator Grants. So this one will come out on April 8th with guidelines as well. And it is grant. So I would imagine goes on the same system. So you need to go to apply for SAM. Remember that one. And the system of award management. So SAM and you need to go to login.gov and obtain DUNS number and register with SAM. So same thing with shattered venue operator grants, that would be the same. So I don't have a whole lot of things to share with you, but here is the website. I want you to snap a picture and know where to look for that. On April 8th, that's the date, okay? And hopefully you will be able to find something over there. And, people I'm thinking would qualify for that, like the event center, okay? And also, theaters, movie theaters, those are the places, or people who are in the performing art kind of work, kind of business. So those are businesses that really should qualify for the venue grant. So you may say to me that, well, what if I have an event center and a restaurant combined, and what do I do? Then if you don't have a separate books, let's say they're one book, and then you could either go with restaurant or go with the event venue and see which one gets you in first, right? And so that is so much I want to cover today. I really felt like I give you a lot of content, and I don't even know whether you can digest all of that at once. But all of our webinars will be sitting at our YouTube channel, like the one I showed you earlier. And you can go to YouTube channel to find us. At the same time, hey, we are here. You can literally pick up the phone, call 515-288-3188. You would get someone. Or you email me, and my email is ying@communitycpa.com. But I encourage you to copy Catherine, CATHERIN @communitycpa.com, because I am not kidding. I have more than 200 emails a day, but I sort of have the skill to sort out the emails and knowing that which one I need to attend early, and which one is a brand new email and crying really with a lot of big cries, and I know which one is urgent. So I do that. I help, I prioritize my emails, but still there's a lot of inquiries, but most of the emails I can just reply to you and you got the answer, okay? But really, like I said, it is endless learning, and especially right now, the one who learns and will actually take advantage or be at the equal playing field. And we are, my biggest fear is that some of the small business, they are already very small, but because of the ability to retain the knowledge is limited, so they are just going to be died down. They're gone. They're not in the system anymore. So hopefully you are here and you help me to tell your friend and let them know that they do have a PPP. They can apply to the end of May, and they, if they have employee, they should look into ERC. Sure, it's not a super urgent, and the 2020 we can do amendment, no problem. But your first quarter of 2021, why do you have to later on file amendment? Do it right the first time, right? Apply for ERC if you eligible, and if your payroll company is too big and you calling 1-800 number, nobody answers, and you stayed on there for 2 hours, then just give them up and come to Community CPA. We provide payroll service. And, as an organization, we also continue to improve ourselves. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect, and our firm is not perfect, but we have our heart. I think we put you at the center of our attention. We do everything we can to do a good job. So I hope that gives you a reason to be here, gives you a reason to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and give you a reason to give us a good review on Google, anywhere on social media. And because we do want people to come to us so we can help them and help more of them and help them more, right? And I hope this is a fruitful conversation today, and I will talk to all of you again. Tuesday, I may not be online just because I have a personal appointment on that day, but I will be again on Saturday, 3 o'clock. This time is my time with you, always. All right, I'll talk to you again. Bye, everybody.